Today we're going to show you guys 3 different techniques you can do with your RAV drum. The first are harmonic overtones. The second is this really awesome hand flicking technique for finger rolling. And the last is one of the most important things you could possibly learn about playing percussion. I highly believe this is ghost notes. So check it out, it will improve your playing dramatically. Hi there, this is Jerry Walsh from Ditch Project in Brooklyn, New York. Welcome to our YouTube channel. There's tons of videos on RAV drums, tutorials, lessons, didgeridoos, all kinds of stuff. Check it all out. Please subscribe. Let's jump in. I'm going to show a couple different techniques that will just allow your playing to go to another level and allow some different sounds to come out of the instrument that will just add some more accents and kind of spice up the playing, you could say. So one of the first things is harmonic overtones. So with each note you have a fundamental sound. Simple, just tapping it. But then each note has within it a overtone. So you can put one finger. Each RAV drum is slightly different, but for the most part it's either right in between the V, between the 2 curls here. Put one finger there and then tap it. Or you can put one finger on the outside. I find for this note, on my particular drum, on the outside, you get, which sounds different than. So on some notes, you know, it's more accented and noticeable than others. I find in the higher notes on my personal drum and my playing style, it comes out more strongly. On the lower notes, you can hear it. But it's, you know, some are just more pronounced than others versus here and here. And once again, it's just, if you see the little curls here on this note in particular, I put one finger there, and then I like to slap kind of to the left of it. So I'm just hitting right here, putting one finger there. And then here, hitting right there. And you know, you can just adds a little bit more of an accented flavor to what you're playing, and it's just kind of makes it more fun both as a listener and as a musician to add more sound to it. So just something simple that you can do, and there's a lot of creativity you can create with that. So with my note in here, this one in particular, if I hit it just off of the little curly V, not in the center but off, and hit in the center here, it sounds good. But if I put my finger here in the center, like you would with this note and this note, all of a sudden there's no sound. Or if there is, it's very faint, you can't really hear it, just sounds like a dull note. Just play around with the note you have in your particular drum, just because each drum is a little bit different, you gotta find the right spot, but it's generally around the V. There it is. Nothing there. On this one, there's a little bit more playroom. You know, play around with it, see what you get. So one other really simple thing you can do that I feel is really powerful, and as a player, it's really, really fun to do. I learned this from an amazing musician named Nadi Shana, who came to our community last summer for the Tribal Rhythms gathering that we put on. And it's just a simple finger rolling technique. So it looks like this when done a little faster. The first time I saw him play, I was mesmerized by that, and I couldn't understand how he did it. Then had him explain it to me. It's actually very simple. To slow it down, it's really just doing this to start. Just going like this, twisting with one finger, one hand rather, and then twisting with the other hand. So just to simplify it even more, what's happening is that the pinky is hitting it first, and then the thumb is following immediately after. Just 1, 2. So you're getting these 4 strokes basically within a millisecond or something. And it's really easy to reset it. so you can just stay with it for a really long time. You could do this on a djembe or any other kind of percussion instrument mostly, but simplify just the side of the pinky here. It's going down, and then the side of the thumb. So you're hitting with the sides. Really easy, looks really beautiful, sounds really cool. Yeah, yeah. Then you can kind of just incorporate it into whatever rhythm you're playing, like. You can do, like I like to do this, is just combine that with the harmonic overtone, with these 3 notes in particular. Just sounds really nice, and yeah, it's cool because you know, developing sometimes the muscular memory to be doing the finger rolls like this. Definitely worth doing and takes a little bit of time, just patience of just playing the instrument, but anyone can do this right away. It's pretty simple, but it's really powerful. Visually, it looks really cool, and it also just sounds really beautiful. So something simple you can do. So one last little technique that you can do, this is one of the first things that was ever told to me when I first started playing the handpan like 2 years ago, which is adding in ghost notes. It adds a whole other dynamic sound to the instrument. It adds a much more full sound. It's been my experience listening to it. So when I first started playing it, and most people when they first begin who don't have percussion background, I had no percussion background when I first started playing this instrument. So I was only playing 2 years ago, I just started picking it up. Was just like you tap it like 1, 2. But that gets very boring very quickly, and it doesn't really capture the whole fullness of what the instrument is capable of. And if you listen to or watch really talented percussionists, it sounds, there's this amazing volume of sound that's moving through. And a large part of how that's done is through ghost notes, which is basically, it's like you're hitting it, but you want to be hitting it super gently and kind of alternating. So a lot of it has to do with accented notes. So I'm just doing, but what I'm doing is I'm kind of like gently, softly touching it, but then I'm adding in more accented, more kind of intense strikes. And then kind of speeding it up at different moments. And it adds like a much more full sound. It sounds like you're playing a lot faster. You have a dynamic aspect of sound that's coming through. So you just start going like this without hitting the instrument, just in the air. And every now and then you can just hit it really gently. But keep missing intentionally, just hitting the air for a while. Strike. Then you can hit a couple harder ones, in addition to the really soft ones and the air strikes. What's cool about the RAV drum is that because there's so much sustain and delay on the sound, where the sound just keeps carrying, unlike a lot of other drums, there is a tremendous amount of room for creativity with the rhythm. Because you have the sound that sort of acts as a cushion that keeps you in a certain place where you can just sort of flow with it without having to be so precise with timing or holding it to a specific rhythm. So much of the essence of handpans is that they're meant for anyone that wants to play. They're not just for percussionists. They're anyone that just has the inclination to make music or sound and just feels that impulse inside themselves. So you can just get up and touch it, right? Like even a small child can just touch it and it'll sound beautiful. So what's nice about this is that you don't have to be, necessarily following a specific time signature or rhythm. You can kind of just touch it as you feel, but when you add in these ghost notes, you can add like kind of more complex, what sounds like more complex rhythms, just really gently hitting the air, start hitting the instrument gently, and then on top of those two different things, you can start hitting a little harder. what I'm learning to do now is speed it up in double time myself. Like that, just kind of giving it a double tap. Just start in the air, come down to the instrument, and then just add some more intense hits. And yeah, from there you should be able to create some really beautiful sounds right off the bat that will free you from just add some more creativity and complexity to your sound. This is a different scale RAV drum. This is a new Golden Arcadia. It's a RAV Bass 2, which means it's a little slightly thicker steel and has a louder sound. And it's a pretty new scale. It's in the key of B. I just want to show some of the same techniques on a different scale. So just going back to the ghost notes, just in the air, coming down. Adding in maybe a little bit of the hand rolls, the kind of butterfly hand rolls. And adding in the harmonic overtones. So just to hear the whole scale. Different vibe. It's more kind of bright and happier than the G minor pentatonic. Yeah, really beautiful scale though. Cool. Golden Arcadia, RAV Bass 2 in the key of B. Thank you for checking out the video. Once again, my name is Jerry Walsh. You can check out these RAV drums, the G minor pentatonic and the B Golden Arcadia in our store on digproject.com/store. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos such as these. Thank you. See you next time.